Once your setup is like this, we have to define our tool geometry. So we have to tell the machine where the cutting tip is. So to do that, we have to go to the offset screen. And then you have to be in tool geometry. If you're not there, you can still press the offset screen. So just keep pressing it until you go to the tool geometry. So if there's already something in there, we have to make sure it is all 0. So on the X and Z, make sure it's all 0. To do that, you have to add in the opposite of this number. So we have to add in 24.5123 on the screen. To do that, all we have to do is type in 24.5123. It will show up here. So 24.5123. Press enter, right? That will put it to 0. Now we have to do the X, so press the arrow here, the cursor. Now we have to type in 9.8927. So 9.8927. So you can see it here, 9.8927. Press right. So that put it all to 0. So when you start, make sure this is reading 0, because you don't know if that's the same location as to where we put the tool. Now we have to move this cutting edge right here at the back face to the front right here, front of the workpiece. So to do that, we have to be in manual mode again, but you can just press the hand jog button here. Hand jog, make sure you're using 1 thou to keep it safe. 1 thou increment. And then we have to move it in the X for now. So you can also see the direction we're gonna be running on the front of the safety guard. So X negative would go that way, X positive would go this way, Z negative would go this way, Z positive would go this way. So keep that in mind. So we have to put the back face here to the face here. So hand jog on the X, I'm gonna go on the negative. So I will be turning it negative. So I'm turning it negative. So the tool is feeding in the X direction. It's getting closer to the part. Like so. Now we want to move it in the Z negative direction. So we have to tell the machine to move in the Z direction. So either one of these two. What matters is how you rotate your handle wheel here. So we want to go on Z negative again. So turning it counterclockwise. As you can see, it's getting closer to the workpiece. And I want to move it more on the X. So press X, negative. So move it on the Z. Make sure you're using 1 thou increment. Now, once I'm very close to the face, I'm gonna insert a paper in there. So I'm gonna be inserting like this. So I'll just leave it there for now. Then I'll move it on the Z. You have to move this paper up and down. Like so. So So you're gonna be moving the paper up and down while your right hand will be turning the hand wheel until the paper you can't move the paper anymore. Until you can't move the paper anymore. Since I have a phone, I can't really do that. So I'll try now. So there's still a gap, right? So once you're very close, you can use 1/10 increments. So this one. So I'm still able to move it. So yeah, I can't move it anymore. So once I have it there, I'm gonna press. So you're still jogging on the Z, and the Z, under the Z, it is highlighted there. So you have to press Z face measure. So it's saying negative 24.5109. Now I'm gonna move this to a safe X direction. So I'm gonna retrack it on the X. So X. So retrack would be positive. Remember, we still have a 3 tau gap from the face because of the paper. So we have to, on the Z we have to add a negative 3 tau or a negative 4 tau. So negative 0.004. So you can see here, this will add on to this. So press enter. There you go. It added a negative 4 tau in there. So now this knows where the tool is on the Z, on the face. Next we have to do the X. So now we have to do the X this time. So we have to move it on the Z. I will be moving it roughly in the middle of the part. On the Z direction. Like so. Like so. Then I will move it in the X until it touches the outside diameter. So I will move it on the X. Negative. So for this one, you can rotate the spindle using your hand, and then moving the tool in the X negative direction. So there's still a little bit of gap in there. So I'll keep moving in the X negative direction until there's no more gap. So once you get very close, you can use 1 tau increment to get it as close as possible. See, it's cutting some now. So once you have it like that, once it's all touching up, you can press the X diameter measure button. Make sure it's highlighted on the X. So X diameter measure. and then it's gonna ask for enter a diameter. So put in 6.525. If this number is not there, you can just type it in. So 6.525 and then press enter. So I have it in like so. Press enter and there. So you should have roughly this numbers at the end. So once you have that, you can move this tool to a safe position. So I will go hand drag again, move it on the X. So that would be X positive. And then move it on the Z. Z positive. Like so. And that is how you define your tool geometry.